Stevie Nicks is such a legend of the 70s and 80s that it's kind of hard to believe she exists in the same physical realm as us, you, and the guy on the bus who smells like pencils. Fortunately, she can never die, so that will continue being true, even though she's lived enough for several of the lives she believes she's had. Her real name is actually Stephanie Lynn Nicks. She got the nickname Stevie when she was just an infant. The story is that when she was small, she couldn't pronounce her name well, so she would be able to pronounce it as TD, hence her getting the nickname Stevie. It's pretty fascinating to think that something as simple as a mispronunciation could leave such an everlasting mark on rock and roll history. You, friends, can leave an everlasting mark in the history of my channel. To do this, you just need to click on the subscribe button. It is not difficult for you to do it, and I will be very pleased. Nicks grew up in financial comfort, thanks to her father's career as a corporate executive, but she was forced to move around a lot. During her childhood, she spent time living in Arizona, California, New Mexico, Texas, and Utah because of her dad's work. The tight-knit Nicks clan included the future singer's paternal grandfather, Aaron Nicks, a would-be country star. Aaron handcrafted a guitar for young Stevie and taught her well-known selections from the country music canon. By the time she was 5 years old, Nicks was gigging with him at local gin mills. By 1963, the family landed in the suburbs of Los Angeles, and Nicks enrolled at Arcadia High School. While there, she met her best friend, Robin, and joined Changing Times, a band patterned after the Mamas and the Papas. Her tenure with the group was short-lived. The Nicks family soon moved to Palo Alto, California, where Nicks attended Menlo Atherton High School. Here, Stevie met classmate Lindsey Buckingham, a guitarist and fellow songwriter. The two shared a close bond and forged a strong musical partnership. Nicks has always been a prolific songwriter, and she got her start as a teenager. The song was called I've Loved and I've Lost, and she penned it about a friend named Steve, who she since said she was madly in love with. My parents gave me this guitar and I wrote this little song about him, she told singer Lana Del Rey in a conversation for V magazine. After high school, Nicks briefly enrolled in San Jose State College, but by 1968, she had dropped out. The Nicks family relocated once again, this time to Chicago, but Nicks opted to stay in California. Along with Buckingham, she joined the local band, Fritz, which established a small following. The group opened for bigger acts such as Janis Joplin and Jimi Hendrix before they disbanded in 1971. By this time, Nicks and Buckingham were deeply romantically involved. The couple continued to collaborate and soon landed a contract with Polydor Records. In 1972, they released Buckingham Nicks, an album that went largely unnoticed. In an effort to make ends meet, Nicks worked alternately as a maid, a dental assistant, and a waiter. Concurrently, Mick Fleetwood, John McVie, and Christine McVie of the rock group Fleetwood Mac struggled with band tensions and lineup changes. In 1974, the group started seeking out a new recording facility and arranged a visit to Sound City Studio in the San Fernando Valley, the same studio where Stevie and Buckingham recorded their album. As producer Keith Olsen guided Fleetwood Mac through the facility, he showcased the studio's sound capabilities by playing the Buckingham Nicks track Frozen Love. The band was taken with Buckingham's guitar sensibilities. A few weeks later, Fleetwood Mac's then guitarist Bob Welch quit the band. In need of a guitarist, Fleetwood remembered Buckingham's track and arranged a meeting with the musician. The group asked Buckingham to join the band, but he refused to collaborate unless Nicks was part of the deal. Fleetwood agreed, and in 1975, Nicks and Buckingham signed on to Fleetwood Mac. The newly forged band quickly recorded an eponymous collection that sold 500,000 copies by December 1975 and went on to hit No. 1 on the Billboard 200 chart the next fall. Nicks' tracks, especially the mystical Rhiannon and the romantic ballad Landslide, were smash hits and transformed the singer into a sensation. Subsequent touring efforts showed audiences Nicks' hallmark flowing outfits and whirling on-stage dances. In 1976, the band started recording their sophomore effort, but their personal lives were in total disarray. The rigors of touring had strained Nicks' voice, and she sought medical help. The band was also in the middle of an emotional upheaval, and all of its romantic relationships disintegrated. The McVies decided to divorce, Fleetwood and his wife separated, and Nicks and Buckingham were in the midst of a tumultuous split. The band continued to record together, however, and their next album, Rumors in 1977, became a record-setting hit. Today, Rumors remains the band's most successful album, having sold more than 21 million copies. Dreams saw a resurgence in popularity following a viral TikTok video from September 2020. The song re-entered the Billboard Hot 100 the following month, its first time on the chart in more than 4 decades. After Rumors, the band continued to put out albums, including 1979's Tusk and 1980's Fleetwood Mac Live, but Nicks felt the draw towards solo work. In 1981, she released Belladonna, which featured guest vocalists Tom Petty and Tom Henley. The album almost immediately reached No. 1 on the Billboard 200 and featured the hit singles Edge of 17 and Leather and Lace, as well as a duet with Petty called Stop Dragging My Heart Around. Nicks continued on at a prodigious rate, recording 1982's Mirage with Fleetwood Mac and her second solo effort, The Wild Heart, in 1983. Around this time, Stevie's best friend, Robin, died from leukemia. In an effort to provide a mother for Robin's young son, Matthew, Nicks married Robin's widower, Kim Anderson. The relationship lasted less than a year. Although it went platinum, Nicks' 1985 solo album, Rock a Little, didn't match the commercial success of her previous efforts. The singer also started developing serious problems with alcohol and drugs. She maintained a severe cocaine habit that eventually created a hole in her nasal cartilage. In 1986, she entered the Betty Ford Clinic for a 28-day rehab program, which helped end her chemical dependence. After years of addiction, weight gain, and exhaustion, Nicks fully detoxed in 1993 and ended her ties to Klonopin. The next year, she released Street Angel, another solo album. As her health improved and she regained energy, Nicks returned to the studio to record new songs for multiple soundtracks. In 1997, Fleetwood Mac reunited and released The Dance. The related tour earned them $36 million. Nicks also put out a boxed set dubbed Enchanted and added 2 songs to the soundtrack for Practical Magic, the 1998 Sandra Bullock and Nicole Kidman movie. That same year, Fleetwood Mac was given one of the greatest honors in the world of rock, induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. In 2018, Nicks ready to join Fleetwood Mac on a new tour, though this one would be without her former flame and longtime bandmate Buckingham. Already recognized with Fleetwood Mac, Nicks was inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as a solo artist in 2019 by Harry Styles. She was the first woman to be a 2-time inductee and performed at the ceremony. This is the end of the untold life story of Stevie Nicks. I suggest you turn on some Fleetwood Mac songs right now and enjoy some good music. See you later, friends.